Who I'm sitting with today?
Man, Ron Jeezy, the biggest, man. Straight Southside finest, man. Straight from the third, man. Hey, on all platforms, man. Ron G Burns on Facebook, Ron G36 on Instagram, and Ron G1 on TikTok. Tap in, man. Like, share, and subscribe.
And you say you from the south side of St. Louis?
Man, Southside of St. Louis, man. Born and raised.
What neighborhood on the south?
Oh, Minnesota, man. Minnesota, Miami, Minnesota, Winnebago. That's our area.
So that's the Minno mob, right?
Most definitely.
So how was it like, growing up in that area?
Man, it was treacherous, man. It was goddamn me either be a sheep or be a wolf, man. So you had to catch on fast, man, and be a motherfucking wolf. Cause if you wasn't, you was gonna get consumed by your environment that was around
Alright. So what so on the Minno, what gang did y'all rep over there? Like Blood
you.
Crip?
So the originals are 60 Crips and 19s, and then as time progressed, the Bloods and G's. We had the Mexicans on pen. You had Six Deuces on pen. So yeah, pretty much that. But the originals most definitely Crips.
Alright, so would you say it changed for us each generation, like the age range?
Hell yeah, it changed. It changed drastically. Yep.
Alright, so before you got into the gangs, so how old was you when you got into the gangs?
I know this is gonna be hard for everybody to believe. Probably about 6, 7.
Alright, because I was gonna ask you, like, what was it like before you joined the gang? But I mean, well, not joined, but been around the gang.
I mean, shit, it was just like shit, a bunch of badass kids. Before that, we was still like I got a bunch of family from a creek, you know what I'm saying? So we was still out there, but I wasn't like, jumped off the porch until then, like 6 or 7, like selling weed, stealing cars and shit like that. So yeah, that's what it was.
Alright, so how did you get into selling weed, stealing cars, being around the streets at such a young age?
I mean, shit, the common story, man. You seeing all these big dope dealers and people having all these flashy things around you. You want it for yourself. So, shit, you had to get out there. You had to step. You had to put your 10 toes in the pavement to get what you wanted.
Alright, so most kids at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old can't even get outside for real. So how was you able to be outside at such a young age?
You got to think, man, back in the 90s, and shit was a different time and era. It was a little, it was safe, but it wasn't safe. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of outside kids. Like, we was outside back in those times. Like, these kids that grew up off tablets and shit, I think it's a little more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that came about.
Alright. So you got into the Crip gang?
Yes, most definitely. 60 Crip, man. Community revolution in progress, for those that didn't know.
Alright, so how old was you when you say you actually became a Crip?
Shit, I was bred into this shit for real, man. My mom, she from the dark side / sick, you know what I'm saying? So she was a big Crip, and I used to see her, chunk it all the time. So, generational. I follow in the footsteps. My old dude, a Crip, he from 33 Cali, so just bred into it.
Alright. So did you have to? So I don't think so. You didn't have to get jumped in or
No,
anything.
not
did
at all, not at all. Nah, I just put in a lot of work, hustle, the typical shit.
Alright. So when did you start hustling?
Shit, around 7. So I got some cousins, man. They from Minno too, also Cozy, Q-Lo, Terry, and just being in the environment, seeing everybody do their thing. So shit, I wasn't finna be left out. I'm gonna hit the ground running myself. I always goddamn me been a person who like do it itself. See, check it out. Even if I gotta bump my head, I'm gonna do it myself. That's the only way you could get real results is doing it yourself.
Alright. So I heard a lot about the South Side and the Minno particularly. So how did that? Do you know how how that started? The neighborhood, the Minno
I
started.
mean, shit, house parties, going to like the Saints Palace, you know what I'm saying? The little lock-ins, just making our name ring everywhere we went. That's how that started, and then, we got a lot of family ties over the city, so people knew who the fuck we were. So that's how that came about.
So Around what year or what time did you say that the Minno actually formed? Was it like right before you came around, or was it at your time?
So it was 6ix9ine Murder Mob. You had the Mexicans on pen, and you had the Six Deuces. Like our older influences were people from 6ix9ine Murder Mob, and also the Dub. You know what I'm saying? Because I got some family members from DeSoto and the bottom end and John end. So that's how that we had those influences around us, and that's how that came about. So I'll say about 95, 96.
All right. So, where did you what would you say the Crip and influence as far as the 6-0 and the 1-9? Where did that come from?
Came from 6ix9ine Murder Mob, which derived from the BODs.
Oh, so y'all was clicked in with the BODs?
I wouldn't say like clicked in. So you had people from 6ix9ine Murder Mob that had a bunch of family from the BODs. I'm just giving you the lineage of how everything started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what's up. I wouldn't have never thought about that.
Yep.
So around that neighborhood, what other neighborhoods like? So y'all was Crip. Was it any Six Deuce on the south side when y'all was
So
coming
like the
around?
only Six Deuces I known about when I was little, you had some Six Deuces on Arkansas and what's that? Hartford, not Hartford. What's that other fucking street? It's right after Utah. I say McCann, Arkansas, and then you had the Six Deuces from off of 3-7 Penrose. They was on Pennsylvania. They was on 3-6 Penn and 3-7 Penn. So when I was little, my consciousness, them the only Six Deuces I known about.
All right. So what about the GDs on the south side?
You had the Michigan deck and you had the Arsenal deck. I mean, they was the same thing. It was just like separate. 32 Michigan, they was GDs, and you had like Arsenal and Louisiana. You had GDs over there.
So would you say it was any difference in the GDs or the Bloods and the Crips around that
I
time?
mean, no, everybody just, well, the South Side was real hustles. Like you had hustle. Hold on one second.
All right.
Yeah, you had people everywhere hustling. So it was more like, you go on the South Side to get your money. Like you had little certain section beats, but that was pretty much Crip and Blood stuff. It wasn't too many Crip sets like beefing with each other.
Oh, okay. So what about the Bloods? Was the Bloods around at on
So
the south
the only
side?
Bloods that I known about growing up again was like the Projects, Dark Side. You had the Village. I'm trying to think any other blood sets around there. That was pretty much it in my upbringing that I known about.
So the south,
Everybody else was Crips.
so the south side was predominantly Crip.
Yep, predominantly Crips.
All right. So tell me about you ever been to like juvenile anything?
No, I escaped juvenile, man. This is the weirdest shit, man. It just seemed like I used to always get away, man. But I was on like juvenile truancy, like being late for school and shit like that. But other than that, no, I haven't went to juvenile.
You been to the pen?
Oh yeah, I've been to the pen. I've been to city jail. I've been to workhouse. I've been to justice center. I just recently got out from doing 10 years and 2 months, bro, on the joint.
Oh, okay. So what you go in for the last time?
Robbery, man. Some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? They trumped up charges, I was in a bad space in my life, man, getting high off codeine pills and shit like that, and it led me to do the wrong shit. But we live and we learn.
Yeah. All right. So tell me about what you think was worse, the workhouse or the pen?
I'll say the pen because you got different. I mean, it's ethnic groups everywhere you go, but like it's the mental slavery and when you can use the bathroom and go eat. You know what I'm saying? So that was more worse than me. It wasn't even like tripping off dudes in there. It was the staff and the administration like coming to fuck up your cell or just bother you and shit like that, like strip us and tie hands behind our back, bringing our mats out so they could do searches and shit like that. That was the most. I think, in my perspective, it was the worstest. At the workhouse in the Justo, that was a piece of cake because everybody knew each other from the city. So you had a name, you was somebody. You didn't, your ass was prey.
So back in the pen, tell me about the different gangs. Do they got? Because I know in California they segregated by race and they got like Aryan Nation, anything like that in St. Louis?
Yeah, they got the Aryan Nation.
I
But you
mean,
got
well,
to think when you're
Missouri.
in the Missouri prisons, it's not just St. Louis, it's all the surrounding areas in Missouri. So you had the SSGs, you had the Aryan Nation, you had Family Values, you had on the black side, you had Black Fam, Talifam. I mean, it was a bunch of fucking gangs. Stretch Gang, that was one of the newest gangs that just started before I got out. Bunch of other gangs, man. You had the Black Muslims, you had New Africans, like it goes on and on. Then you had the little Christian gang or whatever. They tried to disguise themselves up with the religion. They shit was a gang too.
Oh, okay. All right. So tell me about it since what do you think could have made you not get in the gangs, or you think you was just always gonna end up in a gang?
I mean, like I say, this shit generational. So, we a product of our environment. And shit, wherever family you was born into, you had to be stuck with that. I mean, if I was born into a family out in Hazelwood or Ladue, I don't think I would have been in the game, you know. But I was born into this environment, so that's what happened.
So what you think you can tell the kids that want to join a gang or is finna join a gang? What would you tell them?
Think about it before you do it, man. And if you're gonna do it, man, stand 10 toes. But my perspective of going through all this shit, being shot in the head, shot in the leg, seeing a bunch of people die, OD, doing a lot of time in prison, I advise you not to, because you got to ask yourself, is all this shit going to be worth it for the little fame, the little money, the little peanuts you going to get out here? Is all this shit worth it, man? So ask yourself that before you join this shit, because it's real, it's a game that's not a game, if y'all understand that.
So tell me how it was for you the first time, and this still kind of speaking to the youngins. How was it like when you lost your first friend?
Oh man, it was devastating, man, because we lost them due to the police, man. They was stealing cars and shit. Police got behind them, they flipped the car and flew out the windshield. A bunch of people got hurt in the car, but he like flew out the window. Like, man, it was devastating for us, man. Especially, me being 13 and, people being different ages. And he was only 16 when he died. So, yeah, it was real devastating, man. All because he wanted to steal a fucking car.
Mm.
You know?
All right. So what you think that we can do as a community to keep these guns away from these kids?
I mean,
Keep
it ain't
these
nothing,
kids.
man. Like I don't want to be on no Malcolm or no Dr. Martin Luther King shit, man. This shit is systematic, man. They parking these motherfucking trains and shit inside these neighborhoods and letting certain individuals hit them and putting this shit out on the streets, man, to push their agenda. Black genocide.
Would you say that the amount of guns that these kids got nowadays, do you think that y'all had the same amount of guns, or?
I mean, we had guns, but it wasn't this exclusive. It wasn't this damn fast. We had like revolvers, 410 shotgun. Like you was the man in the hood if you had like a chopper or a 9 Ruger or something like that with an extended clip. Because you had extended clips back in the days. They just weren't as common.
Mm. All right. So tell me about the South Side. How the South Side is. Would you say the South Side is different from the rest of the North Side or the West Side?
Yeah, hell yeah, it's different because it's more diverse. It's more ethnic groups over here. It's more life on this damn South Side. You got a bunch of businesses and shit. Not saying it's not on the North Side or the West Side, but you can't find no quick trip or no 7-Eleven on the North Side or the West Side.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So
then you ain't gonna. It's common to see a white guy and a black guy walking together
exactly.
on the South Side.
I mean, it happened on the North Side, but a bunch of them be crackheads.
Yeah.
Dope fiends.
So I've heard about just more recently about these different. I first saw them on St. Louis Hood History.
Okay, yeah.
The white gangs on the South Side.
Yeah,
you remember about the white
so they more down like 55. You talking about what is it, CTS Wick or something. They down there by, you know,
Oh,
what's that, Broadway?
it was some older pictures though, like some guys from the '90s and two.
Oh, okay. I didn't know too many of them. The majority of white dudes I knew from the South Side was from 6ix9ine Murder Mob. Again, you know, you had like people like Sean, Lil Lazy, White Mike, you know, people like that. So them the only white people I knew in white gangs, you know, because like I was in my environment. I was, you know, stuck in my little box. So we didn't know too many white gangs, you know. But I heard they was like down further, like past Bates and shit like that. So we weren't even going that far down back then. Yeah. Yeah.
So what schools you went to on the South Side?
Shit, damn it, every school you could think of. Elementary, I'm gonna start with elementary. I went to Wyman. I went to Patrick Henry. That's on the north. That's downtown
I went
area.
there. I went to that school too.
I went to Lafayette, their middle school. I went to Louverture, Low, Fanny, and the alternative school, the Paris alternative, then high school, Roosevelt. And that's the first time I ended up getting shot in the leg, man, in Roosevelt.
Oh, can you tell me about that?
Shit, you know, gang shit. You know, we was getting out of school. You know, we had a bunch of members that was going to Roosevelt. So our homeboys was like coming up there to meet us and shit. And a big ass gang fight then kicked off, and the dude was like aiming his gun over my homeboy head trying to shoot him. I seen it. I stole off on him, and like the gun went off. It was a flush wound, went straight in and straight out. You know, that was the first time me getting shot. You know.
So how old was you when that happened?
I was 14.
So tell me a little bit about Roosevelt back in those days. Was it a bad school to go to?
Hell yeah, it was a bad school. It was pretty much a fashion show, man. People, you know, people went there to learn, but like people went there to like show off their new design and how much money they was getting and shit like that. You know, any typical high school, man, over in St. Louis.
Would you say it was a Crip high school?
See, at our generation, like a lot of blood start coming out, you know what I'm saying? So I say it was like 70-30.
All right. So tell me about so first you say 70-30, so was it
70 Crips and about 30% Bloods.
All right. So tell me about
This is all from my perspective though, man. No disrespect to nobody or you know, I don't want no motherfucker to feel no type of way. This is just from my perspective. I'm speaking on my accounts.
yeah, this just your your history. You can't we ain't doing this to disrespect nobody at all.
Right.
Never. Who knows what was going on, a few neighborhoods down.
From their perspective, you know what I'm saying? I
Right.
wouldn't know because I wasn't with them every day, you know?
Yeah. All right. So anything else you want to add to the interview?
Oh, that'll be it, man. Just make sure y'all tune in to Midwest Struggles, man. Tap in, man. And also, like I said, tap in with me on all platforms, man. Ryan G. Burns on Facebook, Ryan Jeezy36 on Instagram, and Ryan G1 on TikTok, man.
All right, I'm going to tag those too.
Yep, I appreciate that.
Appreciate you sitting down with me.
Okay.